Hey Gators and sports fans, get all your Gator talk, news, analysis, and opinions on the PodUp with Matthews in the Morning podcast. Find us on your favorite podcast platform or watch us on Facebook Live between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. every weekday. PodUp, because we are Gator fans. So say it's great to be a Florida Gator.
Good morning and welcome to a Monday edition of PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. It is the first day of February, believe it or not. Time is flying by. I got a good show lined up for you today. We're going to be joined by Pat Dooley here in just a second. We're going to have him in the first portion of the program. The second portion of the program, we're joined by Dave Kratzer and Ben Bakari, the gentlemen that have reopened Turkey Creek Golf Course, talk about that process, how it's going out there for all our golfers out there. If you got any questions, be sure to hit us up on Facebook Live. You can also text us on the Titan MR text line 352-353-7465. Trying to find there it is right there. All right, good to go. We'll be joined by Pat Dooley, as I said, here in just a second. But in the meantime, a lot of stuff going on for the Gators. We will talk with Pat about it. Gators get a big win over West Virginia in hoops. Gymnastics continues to roll. Volleyball's rolling. Gymnastics is your number one team in America. Baseball will be cranking up here shortly. They're the number one ranked team in America as well. Gators get a big recruit in Eric Gilbert from LSU, extremely talented tight end. And Becky Burley is hanging it up as the women's soccer coach. And I think we have Mr. Dooley on the line. I know we had to get him out of bed. Retirement is tough on this guy. He sleeps all day. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Pat. How are you?
Good. I had to get up I've got to do my back nine and my podcasts. And so I was going to get up anyway, but you just made me get up 5 minutes earlier.
Well, Pat, we appreciate you joining us today. We're going to talk a little bit about your podcast here shortly, but man, let's talk a little bit about Mike White's Florida Gator basketball team. I don't think a lot of people in the Gator Nation wanted to give them a chance going up to West Virginia, but boy, they played hard.
Well, they're really playing hard the last few games. Probably the hardest I've seen a Mike White team play. And it's almost like they had a epiphany that, look, if we're going to really do this for Keontae, we can't just do it because everybody's going to feel sorry for us. We've got to do it because we have to do it for ourselves, and we have to get the extra rebounding and pound the boards and play defense on every possession. And defensively, they haven't been that good in terms of scoring, but guys are just making ridiculous shots against them. I don't have a problem with the way they're playing defense. And they're finding ways to get the ball in the basket enough to win the game. So it's been a nice little 4-game run. I think they're up to 17 or 18. I got my notes here somewhere. 17 or 18 in the net rankings, which is what matters. I mean, that's what they use. Think about that. And they may be ranked in the AP poll when it comes out today, which my daughter turned to me after the game and says, "Do you think they'll be ranked?" I go, "Oh, no." And 4 losses. And I go, "Yeah, they may be." That's 2 wins over top 10 teams or top 12 teams. So they may be ranked. But, don't worry, Shane. And they'll lose a game, and then the Gideons will come back out and want to fire Mike White. So
yeah, there's no question. JC and I kind of went and picked our winners and losers for the SEC Big 12 Challenge. And I told him, I said, I think the SEC is going to win this thing. And they did. Obviously, the Kentucky-Texas game got canceled. But,
right.
LSU, the last 45 seconds of the game were ahead 6 points and lost. They got outscored 12-0 and should have won that game. So I thought the SEC played pretty well. Alabama didn't shoot great, but Oklahoma, Lon Kruger's done a tremendous job with that crew.
Well, LSU lost because of poor coaching, So anything I can blame on that guy, I'm happy to do. I just still don't understand how he has a job. But yeah, that was one where, because I was keeping track like you. I'm watching the games and keeping track of who's winning, who's losing. And then the one, Alabama losing. While they're obviously the best team in the conference right now, but that was what I think a lot of people, why they won't be a sexy pick in the NCAA tournament, because if you pick them and they have one bad shooting night, boom, done. And that's what we saw. They had a bad shooting night. Now defense had something to do with it, but still, when you shoot like that, you're going to lose. You're going to lose games like that. And that's all it's going to take, and then you're out. That you're done. See ya.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. So, but Alabama losing hurt the SEC, and LSU's blowing that lead hurt them. But on the other hand, they got some wins. The one thing is, Shane, the Big 12's not deep. They're really good at the top. Baylor's obviously could have played anybody and won easily. But and there's obviously Oklahoma's pretty good. They're on a roll. But when you get down to the bottom of that league, they got some bad teams there. And one of them, I think it was whoever played Mississippi State. Was that Iowa State?
Iowa State.
Yeah, they had a bunch of guys that were out. But they're not a good lead at the bottom. The trouble is for them when they play that challenge, the SEC can tell their guys that aren't any good, now you're not in this challenge. Georgia, you're not in this challenge. So that you end up, it's actually an advantage for the SEC. But that said, the SEC loses this most of the time. They lost it, I think, last year.
Pat, sticking with hoops before we move on, have you heard anything? All the conference tournaments are still planning to be played, right?
Yes. And I talked to Greg Sankey about it, and I mean that's their plan is to play them. The question I think that he and all the commissioners have is, will everybody play? Will everybody want to show up? If you're Gonzaga, why would you go play in that tournament and risk, which you would think that playing in a tournament setting would risk a player testing positive. Now you got contact tracing, and all of a sudden you end up going to the NCAA tournament down 3 guys or something like that. And that's where you get into the question. If you're Baylor, would you bother to do that? If you're in, I believe what they should do is just let everybody in who they believe is a lock. Okay, so tell them you're in. If you want to not play in your tournament and we won't hold it against you, we've already got you locked into your spots. And then you could have the conference tournaments playing for what's left. What are the other slots that are left? In other words, you could end up with an SEC tournament where there are only 8 teams, and they aren't going to let but 1 or 2, maybe 2, in. The winner and the runner-up could get in. That's it. So it'd still at least be a conference tournament. Now, I know that the inventory for television is an issue there. So I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I do kind of agree with your idea there. But then you have some of these teams, say like in Alabama, who if they go through their tournament, win it or whatever, does that bump them to the one line? So
and that's the reason you would want to play. And not only that, but you want to win your conference tournament. It's a big deal. It's fun. It's a trophy. It's everybody getting excited. You've got an MVP, that gets a little trophy. So I get why they want to play it. And also, again, the television inventory is a big factor in this because they want these teams to play so they have X number of games. So we'll see how that all works out. But it's going to be really interesting as we get closer because, we just saw what happened in Michigan. We saw the Kentucky game get postponed this week. I mean, we don't know where we're going to be at the beginning of March.
Refresh your vehicle and your brand with a vehicle wrap from WrapSpot. February is your lucky month at WrapSpot. Mention promo code Shane and receive 13% off your vehicle wrap. We're speaking with Pat Dooley here on the Titan MRI hotline. Pat, Becky Burley, she's hanging it up. Been coaching here ever since soccer started. Were you surprised at her decision?
I wouldn't say I was blown away by it because I know that they've been struggling lately, and I think they were, what are they, 2-7-1 going into the spring season. And then maybe she just felt like it was time for somebody else. But I also know the grind gets to you. The recruiting grind gets to you, no matter what sport you coach. And I get that. So she's been doing it a long time. She's been nothing but great to me. Love her to death. I was at the championship when they won the whole thing, which was amazing. There were some times around that period when that place was packed, for soccer games. But I think the interest levels dropped off, and they haven't played as well late the last few years. And maybe she just felt like it was time to move on. But her legacy is going to always be there. I mean, she brought some of the greatest soccer players, female soccer players, to this town, and Abby Wambach and Heather Mitz, and obviously Danielle Fotopoulos. So give her credit for everything she's done and starting a program from scratch. And what she wanted 2 years later, that's pretty amazing.
Who do you think they might replace her with? Any idea?
Yeah, no, I don't have a list of the great soccer coaches in my my drawer here. I know they'll probably go get. I think that Scott will do the Jeremy Foley thing, which he did with the one hire he's made, right, which was Cam Neubauer, and go get somebody young and enthusiastic and has done well already early in their career, but maybe not at the highest level. Florida's not. They don't seem like they're the type that's going to go, let's go hire the best coaches, in the country, because that's not the way they've done it over the years, and it's worked pretty well for them, especially in the other sports. Football,
Dan
maybe
Mullen
not
and
so
his
much.
staff. Yeah, Dan Mullen and his staff have done a tremendous job in the transfer portal. Which he was the highest rated tight end to ever come out of high school football. Eric Gilbert, who played for LSU last year, he said he's going to sign with the Gators. Who I saw him play a couple of games. I was blown away with his talent. He is a Kyle Pitts type player. Your thoughts on how the Gators are doing in the transfer portal?
Yeah, I would be curious if you went back and rated the class of 2 years ago and added 2 5-stars in there, and Gilbert and DeMarcus
Shot Bowman.
Yeah. I mean, now all of a sudden, you think anybody be complaining about that class? But this is the way it's going to work, and it's going to work like this, from now on. I don't think it's going to get better or worse, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think you should be able to transfer. I mean, a lot of people transfer. I transferred. Well, I went junior college to college, but I transferred. So, but I mean, to add him, the funny thing is when he announced he was going to get in the portal, because remember, he didn't play the last few games. He didn't play against Florida, right?
Right. No, he did not.
Yeah, he didn't play because he was dealing with
said he wanted to be closer to home is what it was.
Yeah.
It was something being homesick, and he's from the state of Georgia.
But his home is in Georgia, right?
Yes.
So I went, well, that's probably not good. And then I talked to people that were pretty well connected, and they go, nah, they're not going to get him. He'll go to Georgia. And then he announces that yesterday. I went, holy poop. I can't believe that. So that's a huge – now, I don't think he's Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is a unicorn. I don't think there's anybody like him.
I agree.
Most people don't have – they don't have that incredible reach but doesn't mean he can't be a great player. I mean, he could end up being the greatest player to ever play at that position. Who knows? But Kyle Pitts was weird. I mean, it was almost like his body wasn't normal.
Yeah, I agree. But this Eric Gilbert, I think he's like 6'5", 230, can fly, has good hands. He looks like a wide receiver. He will be the starting tight end if things go according to plan, because he's a freak athlete. The portal, to me, Pat, I don't know if you and I have talked about this. I do like it because if a kid wants to go somewhere else and play, that's fine. But I think it's great for coaches as well, because, sometimes when you recruit a kid or the previous staff has recruited a kid, he may not fit your system or he may never play. And so in your exit meetings, I can sit down with the young Pat Dooley and say, hey, Pat, you're our outside linebacker. You played a little bit on special teams, but we got so-and-so coming in. We think this guy's going to be the starter. We love you being a Gator, but you may want to look elsewhere. It's kind of a way that they can cut kids
Sure.
in the proper way.
And Nick Saban used to do that a lot, where he would take a guy who maybe had a slight injury, but he was going to be fine. Say, you're injured, you're out, you're done. We can't use you. I don't think he does that as much as he used to back in the middle of the 2008, 2009, right in there when he first got going. But yeah, no, I mean, to me, I always talk about re-recruiting. I did a big piece on this, how you recruit a guy and you tell Shane Matthews, man, we want you here. It'd be great. We're going to take care of you. Your parents are going to love the fact that you're here. And then the first day they're yelling at you, Shane, it's not your fault, my fault for putting you in the game. So you get players get, not all of them take it the right way. They take it tough sometimes, and then they get beat down over the year and they go, man, I got to try something else. Or I want to go closer to people that I feel are in love, love me, and they want to help support me. They're so far away. And so that re-recruitment doesn't always go that well. And so as a result, you end up with seeing guys want to leave. And I if they want to leave, it's their prerogative. I mean, they're already, I will say this, college football players have a kind of a neat choice, and it's because they're not employees. They get to pick where they're going to school. Then they get to change. Can you imagine if that was the way in the NFL? I'm going to go play for the Chiefs, but if I get beat out, I'll go play for the Packers. I mean, it's pretty amazing the difference between college and the NFL. To me, they're almost not the same sport in a lot of ways.
We're speaking with Pat Dooley on the Titan MR Hotline. Pat, did you watch any of the Senior Bowl? Or I didn't even watch it. Don't know anything about it.
0.0.
The Gators did. So you have no idea either, huh?
I have no idea. I was watching basketball all day. Yeah, I was just into that. So to me, the Senior Bowl was probably more important than it's ever been this year, because there's not going to be a combine. And but I don't care. I'm not drafting anybody.
Yeah, I hear you. So, Pat, I'm going to talk to the Super Bowl, then we're going to get to golf. But at Comfort Temp, comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise. This month, get a free annual maintenance plan with every residential duct cleaning purchase, $199 value. Service departments open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what happened in 2004 in Super Bowl 38, Pat, on this day? Any idea?
Day? No.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Oh.
Janet Jackson had a body part exposed during the halftime show. That was this day in 2004.
Well, she didn't have that. It was Justin Timberlake exposed it for her. It was set up, though.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, that's what happened this day in sports.
I missed it because we had a big party at our house and I was doing something, so I didn't even see it. And most of the people, you know how you get chatty during the halftime of the Super Bowl? Most of the people at the party didn't see it. They're all like, "What? So what happened?" And then we got to see it in real and on video, and it was pretty impressive.
Facebook Live brought to you by Melton Law, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. We got some updates here on the Senior Bowl. It says Kadarius Toney got Player of the Week.
Hey.
Trayvon Grimes caught a TD pass, and Felipe Franks threw the game-winning touchdown.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, good for Felipe, and there are people that are going to fall in love with him.
Oh, you're right. There's no combine. I was going to say when he gets to the combine, he's going to tear it up, but there is no combine. So
no, but they're going to look at everything, and they're going to have individual workouts with them. And I don't know if he'll do them in Arkansas or Gainesville. He might have better receivers to throw to down here if he comes to this one. But
you know what? I bet he does them here. I wouldn't be surprised if they let him. Yeah, I bet he does that.
But Kadarius Toney, I had been reading just on Twitter how well he was doing, and I wasn't surprised. This guy's got a chance to be a bigger version of Tyreek Hill. And, I'm not saying he'll be as good as Tyreek Hill, because Tyreek Hill's incredible. And I think one of the fastest players ever play in the NFL. But he can do those same kind of things. Obviously we've seen it, Shane, where you throw him a little bubble screen and he makes 8 guys break their ankles. So I think it looks like he's going to get into the first round. Jeff Cardozo and I bet that he wouldn't go in the first round. I said he wouldn't. Jeff said he would. It looks like I'm going to lose 3 cases.
I don't know. I'm going to kind of stay with you, Pat. I don't know if he'll make it first round.
Because he's only had one season where he did anything. Yeah.
He might be the most improved player that I've seen in quite some time come out of college football. I am so happy for him. He's turned into a really good receiver. So, Pat, the Super Bowl, because I want to get to golf here in a minute with you, and I'm also going to have the guys from Turkey Creek on after you. Super Bowl, who do you think wins?
You never bet against Brady, and I keep doing it, and I'm going to do it again. I just think Kansas City's a better team.
I agree.
I love Mahomes. If it wasn't for that stupid chant of theirs, I would really be happy. I would really like him.
Yeah, I think Pat Mahomes is going to break Brady's Super Bowl record of going to 10. I really do. Pat, so did you happen? We're both big time golfers. Did you watch the tournament of Farmers Insurance out at Torrey Pines at all this weekend?
I watched a little bit of it, and then I saw all the controversy, and I went and tried to check that out. And I actually played Sunday, so in a tournament. So, it's Patrick Reed again. He strikes again. The guy has got wiring that's not quite right in his head. When you look at all the stuff he's dealt with as with his family, and you read those stories, and you're like, "What's wrong with this guy?" And then there's been multiple episodes of bending the rules, pushing the envelope on the rules. The ball bounced. He said it was an embedded lie. That's, in theory, those two things can't happen. So I don't know. And the players are starting to call him out. I saw Xander Schauffele called him out, and good for them.
It's and I watched it Saturday a little bit. I watched it yesterday, especially at the beginning yesterday, because had Jim Nantz, Faldo, I can't remember the other, Dottie Pepper, Frank Nobilo. Everybody just played golf their entire life, and you could tell those guys were upset about it because I've always said golf is the greatest sport in the world. And if you've never played it, folks, you need to learn to play golf because there are rules. You can't throw a touchdown pass and they get called back for some guy holding on your left tackle. You can't drive to the basket and have this block charge call. There's set rules. Nobody's deciding those rules. They are set. And one of the rules is you never touch a golf ball on the golf course until you get a ruling. And for him to pick that ball up, whether it was underground, you don't pick it up until you call an official over.
Unless you're cheating. And you're right. It is the most honorable sport there is of any sport. And it's not even close. Guys call penalties on themselves. Can you imagine that if we had that in football? I know we completed that touchdown pass, but I held that guy, So I love that thing about golf. I love that aspect of golf. And for a guy to be pooping all over it kind of bothers me. And I think it bothers a lot of the players in that we're all playing by these rules, and we're not going to let, if we break these rules, we're going to let somebody know that we broke those rules. And we also know, as you said, you don't pick your ball up.
Yeah.
That's one of the rules. But you did it, and like Schauffele was saying that the tour is protecting him. And I'm like, why would you protect Patrick Reed? What benefit is there? The guy's a jerk. Nobody likes him, least of all me. And he played in Georgia.
No, he didn't play at Georgia. He played at
that's right. He played at
Augusta State.
Yeah.
And won a national title back-to-back years. He's a really good player, but don't cheat. And I don't understand how that guy on national TV and you go pick your ball up. Makes no sense to me at all.
No, it should have been a two-stroke penalty right there. Just two-stroke penalty, sorry. And he still would have won.
Yeah. Pat, before we let you go, let everybody know you have a new podcast out, how they can listen and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the lighting is much better on my podcast than it is in this room. So I don't know why I can't get the lighting straightened out in here, and I apologize for that. But yeah, so we will tape today with the great people that are doing yours. Evan, Evan's become my hero, So, but today we have James Bates on, and I think Dennis Todd's going to join us. Yeah, it's always fun with Batesy. And we've been really going through the Rolodex and getting all these big time stars out, to come on. We had Ike Hilliard Friday. He was great. And Robbie's been on a few times, the head ball coach. But we tape it where we do it live at 2:00. And then, of course, it's available for other people. And it's gaining momentum. It's really doing well. And we still got a couple of sponsorships open, although most of them are gone. And, they do it again on Fridays. So right now it's Monday, Fridays. We got a lot of fun contests and stuff like that. And appreciate everybody for listening to it or watching it. And also the great thing about it is, I'm writing for WRUF too. I'm writing 2 columns a week for them, a back 9 and a front 9, and they're putting it up on there as well. So people can go there and just get Dooleyed out. Although my wife has already said she's already been Dooleyed out.
Yeah, make sure you have Bates. Ask him about his rooster he named Danny Werfel.
I will make sure I ask about his. Let me make a note of that.
That's a great story. Yeah. It's a great story.
Every story with him is a great story.
Yeah, he's a piece of work. There is no question about it. Well, Pat, we appreciate you joining the show today. Be safe out. By the way, what'd you shoot yesterday?
Well, it was a scramble. We think we shot 11 under. There was some imbibing going on, so things got a little squirrely at the end. But it was for the Hales Angels, which helps place dogs and cats in our community. So that's something that causes close to my heart. And it was fun. It was a really fun tournament. They did a great job with it, and I don't know. We got out of there. I don't know if we might have won for all I know, or we might have finished last.
Yeah, you never know. Well, Pat, we appreciate it, buddy. Take care and be safe out there.
All right. See you guys.
That's Pat.
See you later, Evan.
Pat Dooley, join us on the Titan MR hotline. Hey, folks, let me tell you about one of our new sponsors, G-Tech Clean.
G-Tech Clean is your complete germ protection. It's EPA approved to kill COVID-19 and kills 99.9% of all germs and viruses, black mold, and also deodorizes. It's the safest, affordable way to clean and sanitize your business, no matter if it's a gym, school, retail store, or office. Use it in your home anywhere from the bathroom to the kids' room. It's formulated to provide 24/7 protection and is over 30 times more durable than any other cleaners. Try G-Tech at home as well.
I use G-Tech Clean to keep the PodUp studio clean of any germs and viruses and COVID-19 related, and so should you. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning. We'll be right back.
Hey Gators, this is Coach Steve Spurrier. PodUp with Matthews in the Morning. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our Gridiron sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, where you matter most. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. G-Tech Sport, keep your athletes in the game with G-Tech Sport. Celebration Point Town Center, Center State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage. Some of our touchdown sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, Adams Rib Company, Darlene Weeby Realtor Caldwell Banker MM Parish, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Davis Gainesville Chevrolet, Miapa Latin Cafe, Rap Spot, Okido America, Gators Dockside, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, TB Financial, Meadowbrook Golf Course, Shakow Insurance. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit podupwithshane.com and click the advertise button. Again, thank you to all our great sponsors that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Welcome back to this Monday edition, February 1st of PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. Celebration Point's where the Gators go to celebrate with premium brands like Bass Pro Shop, Nike, Sensei, Dave & Buster's, opening soon, Prime and Pearl, and coming spring of 2021, the HBC's new restaurant, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Visor's Rooftop Bar. We will see you at Celebration Point, where the Gators go to celebrate. I want to thank Pat Dooley for joining us. Now we're going to go to the Titan MR hotline, and we're going to be joined by Dave Kratzer and Ben Bukhari, both guys involved out at Turkey Creek, which is now reopened. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good morning. Good to be here.
Good morning, Shane.
Well, first of all, let everybody know, Turkey Creek shut down, gosh, I don't even remember how many years ago, but you gentlemen have organized a group that reopened it, and just tell us how that all happened.
Well, if I could lead off, Shane, the course, a little bit about the history. The course actually began in 1977 as a beautiful course that was developed here in Florida by a great developer by the name of Norwood Hope. And then I think you may have played out there in the old days.
Yep.
So, and it went through kind of the life cycle of a lot of golf courses. It was booming. It was great. It's been 43 years, and during that time, a lot of changes have happened. And in 2011, I guess the course just ran out of steam, and it closed. So for 10 years, it was closed. And Ben can tell you maybe a little more about the conditions at that point. But we just reopened the course on January 23rd, 2021. So. Well, I don't know another course that's ever been closed for 10 years and had a rebirth.
Yeah, and Shane, awesome. If I can just add, I sort of came in, I feel like a newbie in a way. I came in around 2018. The group, the grass was at waist high. There were all kinds of codes complaints to the local municipality about the condition because the grass was mowed down, and there were multiple efforts to try to get the golf course reopened. This last group that really kept trying to move it forward did some small steps, like get an area that's mowed down and do a long drive event. And I simply came in and said, hey, here's how I think you can market it effectively. And there were folks from David on the golf course digging holes knee deep, it seemed like, to put new sprinkler heads in. It was in total volunteer effort, which is how it happened. Because, and as Dave can speak to, there were so many no's, so many people saying it's going to cost too much money, it's not going to happen. But through a volunteer effort, through dozens of folks who live out here, some who play golf, some who don't even live in Turkey Creek, it's now back open.
So after 10 years with, as you say, the grass knee high, waist high, whatever it may be, how long and how difficult was it to mow all that stuff down and to kind of get it back where you could kind of like see what one of the holes looks like?
Shane, let's just say I never want to do another one. Okay. But, well, the first thing, you know what, you may have other folks out here on the podcast who maybe live in a community and their golf course is struggling, or maybe it needs to come back. And I'll tell you, the first thing you need to do is you've got to get your irrigation system in place. So step one, we formed a limited partnership, an LLC. We gathered a little money. And I think, as Ben mentioned, we went to a couple of developers, golf course developers, and said, what would it take for you to bring this golf course back? And they said, oh, yeah, we can do it. $2 million. Well, we didn't have $2 million. So we got a bunch of volunteers together. And as I've said before, it was kind of like Tom Sawyer painting the fence. We started going, people came out. COVID hit along in here, and guys showed up and said, "Hey, can you get me out of the house? I need something to do." And so all of a sudden, we've got like a small army of volunteers. And the first thing we did was literally hand dig the holes and locate the sprinkler heads, take the old ones out, install the new sprinkler heads. And if anybody wants to know, there's about 500 sprinkler heads on a golf course. So it took over a year to do that. 2 pretty hot summers, a bunch of old guys down on their hands and knees with spades and shovels and clearing those things out. So that's the way it began. And from there, we installed the sand traps, brought those back, rented a tiller, and got out there and got at it. So it was just a wonderful effort by this community. And, a lot of people who I think have a challenge in front of them, and they all say, "Boy, look out there, that somebody should do something and fix this condition we've got," whatever that might be. Well, I think everybody got together at Turkey Creek and said, we can do this. We're somebody. And so today, here we are. It was we did the course, and it cost about $450,000 instead of $2 million, and it was simply because of these great volunteers.
So let me ask you this about the volunteers. If y'all were digging, the sprinkler heads up, replacing them, how long did it take you to do the entire golf course?
Well, man, that's a long question. But it would probably be in the neighborhood of almost 3 years. Serious work, serious hard work. It took 2 full years to do it, Shane. And but it's really been worth it. And we've had people trimming trees. If I could mention just a couple of people out there, we could not have done this with the talent of people who came out and donated time and equipment. One of them is Russ Mills, who is senior construction superintendent for BBI Construction. Another one is Jay Acree, who owns a tree service, but he lives out here. And these guys donated so much of their time and talent and expertise because we didn't know what we were doing, and saved us in so many ways. Another guy by the name of Dan Ryan, who has his own contractor's licenses and can do almost anything. But these guys came and helped show us what to do, and we were real strong on safety, nobody getting hurt, and kind of taking our time because we are above the average age, most of us that are working at it.
Did y'all happen to change any of the looks of the holes? Or are they all the same?
Ben, you want to?
Yeah, so Shane, you're going to see a similar layout to what you remember when you played Turkey Creek. Nothing's really changed. What has changed is the greens are all brand new. That had been an issue for Turkey Creek going back 20 years. The greens would die off sometime in the mid to late summer because they were old and needed to be redone. Well, they're all brand new greens, including the practice green. So that was done. Of course, the new sprinkler heads are on the course, over 120 trees that have come down. And by the way, I think his name's Ben Love, but they call him Bunker Ben, who purchased a Sand Pro to get the bunkers in shape. And so no, the layout hasn't changed. Less trees in some areas, and hopefully there'll be some additions as more revenue comes in. I do want to mention, as it currently sits, the Turkey Creek, the golf course is open 7 days a week. We have brand new golf carts sitting up there. The folks in the pro shop washing the carts, picking the range, washing the balls, and stocking the rainfall machine, all volunteers. The Davey Golf, and Dave can talk about this, is the company that's come on board and manage the maintenance part of the golf course right now. The rest of the folks that are running this thing is an army of volunteers still.
I remember last time I was out there before it shut down, they had like maybe 3 short little practice holes. Are those still there?
Yeah, but now they're incorporated in the 18 holes. So that they were the first 3 that we developed just to begin somewhere and have that practice facility really helped, I think, spark the interest of the people who lived in Turkey Creek, and also the visitors who came out and said, hey, they're really serious. This is going to be okay. So yeah, those 3 holes are now number 10, 17, and 18 as part of the 18 holes that are all open. One thing that, you had mentioned, Shane, about has the course changed? One thing that you will see when you come out, and by the way, we're going to invite you to come on out anytime you want to. We'd love to see you out there and experience this and give us your feedback. But I would I'll tell you that those trees that you remember, because we have a lot of trees at Turkey Creek, well, they're 10 years bigger than the last.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. It's always some of those holes are very tight, no question. So y'all were talking about greens, and most avid golfers, that's all they care about. We can fairways can be dirt as long as we have good greens. Having done new greens that you said y'all replaced them, how are they coming along? Because I know sometimes it takes a while for the grass to come in.
I'll tell you what, Ben, you might want to chime in here too, but I think when you come out, you'll see that the greens are, first of all, we've got rye on them right now, and so that they're very green, and we have the Bermuda's already been installed, and they'll come up in the spring. And I would think before we are really good, perfect, it might be as much as a year. It's going to get a little bit better every day. But the feedback so far has been, this is remarkable. After 10 years, these greens are in reasonable condition. So we'll get, the greens will get better. And, like every greens person you ever heard, our guys from Davy Golf said, well, I wish we had another week. I wish we just had one more week.
Right.
And I think that's what every greenskeeper in the world would say about any golf course. But we had so much interest and so many people saying, please get that golf course open. You've been teasing us. You had the 3 holes open. You've been waiting. You said, and so they came out and played, and we had a grand opening, and we decided to have a scramble. The scramble sold out in a matter of hours. So we had to have a second scramble on Sunday. It sold out in about 2 days. So we sold out back-to-back scrambles, and the feedback has been, this is a fair representation for this course right now. And I hope someday those greens are as fine as the University of Florida, Hale Plantation, some of these other places, and we'll keep working on it.
At Chris Doring Mortgage, they do mortgage lending right, helping home buyers throughout Gainesville and North Central Florida. Call Chris Doring Mortgage today, 352-244-0840. We're speaking with Dave Kratzer and Ben Bakari here on the Titan More Hotline. They're the gentleman that helped reopen Turkey Creek Golf Course. So what's the rates to play Turkey Creek right now? And also, do y'all have memberships, or is it just open to the public? How's it working right now?
Ben, you want to do that?
Sure. So the golf course is absolutely open to the public. Traditionally, in the past, I think Turkey Creek, folks remember Turkey Creek being a private golf course or semi-private. Absolutely open to the public. As far as memberships go, there are opportunities to get memberships from a monthly or a yearly annual membership. Excluding the cart, you're looking at a single membership about $1,500. You do your $1,200 private. If you have a private cart, it's $1,200 for a trail fee. As far as the daily rates go, greens fees $24, and then you add your cart there, and it's $14, so about $38 to play around the golf right now. And things are constantly being evaluated, and I won't say changed, but evaluated to see where the next step is. But there are annual memberships available, which are paid annually or monthly, and there's sports opportunities to play for $38 a day.
And I know Gainesville's big in charity golf tournaments, and we don't have a whole lot of golf courses here for some reason. Are you guys open to so-and-so having a charity golf tournament out there?
Absolutely. Shane, we, as a matter of fact, we have a couple tournaments that are looking to come out now, and we're working with them in the future. And the best way for people to do that, because those are things that we design with you, and different groups want different things. So that always has to be done on a one-to-one basis. And you can call us, call our pro shop at 386-518-6815 and talk to Susie Davis, in charge of our pro shop, who is one of the better women amateur golfers in this county for many years. And she's fantastic, and will help you set up that tournament, along with Loretta Shane, who was for many years the dean of students at Santa Fe High. But we'll take care of that and be glad to host you out there.
Got a text here on the Titan More text line. It comes from Scott. Scott wants to know what you guys' backgrounds are, since y'all are not in the golf business.
Ben?
I'm in the real estate business, but I've been doing marketing since I was 18 years old, and I'm 37, so I've got a pretty good background in helping in the marketing part of it. And I think that's interesting that text came through, because that really is the thing that's so interesting about this. Are so many folks that have come together who aren't from the golf industry, and I think that there's a quote in the Golf Digest article that talks about from Forrest Hope that says, folks who are in the golf industry, I'm paraphrasing, said this couldn't be done, only to be done by the folks who have no golf industry experience. And so that's my background. I'm in real estate and I'm in marketing.
And I was fortunate to have two careers, Shane. I was in the Army for a long time, and then also the University of Florida. And 2016, I had retired from both, and I left the University of Florida as the Vice President for Student Affairs. So I know a lot of former students out there, and decades of them, and it's a pleasure to do this with this group of volunteers. It's almost like working with student volunteers, in that it's a different labor force. So Ben's right. I mean, the other people out there, we've got two pharmacists. We have a guy who is a chiropractor in town. We've got people who used to work for FedEx. We have ex-firemen, and we also have a talented group of people who were either in the carpentry business, the home building business, plumbing. And so a lot of those job skills, people came out and donated. But as far as a professional golf course manager, no, that's why we hired the Davey Golf Management Company to come in and run this. We were very fortunate, a lot of trial and error, and it just worked.
And the driving range is open too, correct?
Oh yeah, the driving range. We have a practice pitching area. The driving range is nice because you can actually hit off grass and not off of mats, and so we like that out there. And so the chipping green, the putting green, and the driving range are available all day.
I got another text here on the Titan MR text line from Jonathan. He wants to know, is the clubhouse, bar, restaurant open?
Yeah, so the Creek's 19th restaurant is open. Axel is the gentleman running it, him and his wife. He and his wife, he's a former general manager of a restaurant in Gainesville and some others, so he knows what he's doing. And they're open I believe 7 days a week, brunch on Sunday. They're working on their, we were on the phone last night, and they're working on their times. They're going to be open a little more. They didn't expect to have the business that's coming in from the golf course, so they're going to start opening a little earlier, I believe. But there is a restaurant. It's ready to go. They've got a full bar and a great menu.
And so they are open at for noon and also through the evening, and oftentimes have live entertainment to go along with that.
Now, a question I'm just asking: do people have to have a tee time to come play Turkey Creek, or can they just show up?
You can show up, and we'll accommodate you. You take your chances there a little bit. So. Right. If you could also go out to Golf Now, and we're up on golfnow.com, and you can make that tee time before you ever arrive. You can call our number again at the pro shop, or you can show up, and if you have to wait a little bit, you can go over there and use the practice facilities.
I'm trying to remember hole one. Is hole one because I know they flipped them at one time. Hole one still the one that goes by the water?
No, that's number 10.
That's 10 now. Okay, I got it. So 18 is the one that finishes right by where the little bar is.
Yep, correct.
Okay,
which is handy.
Yeah, exactly. There's
Shane, if I can ask real quick, I just showed up. I played golf Saturday. Played last week in the opening scramble. Played this past weekend, and I just showed up to play golf and hope to get a tee time. I had to wait an hour. So
oh wow,
probably should have called first.
Yeah, that's great. We just got a Facebook Live question here brought to you by Melton Law, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Hal wants to know how rare is it in golf to reopen a golf course?
Dave, can I please take this for a second?
You got it.
Only because I had this bird's eye view. I was watching these volunteers do what they're doing. I went to some of their meetings 5-6 years ago. The homeowners purchased the golf course, and there was no blueprint for this, which made this story so remarkable. It's so difficult and it's so time consuming. And usually you just need one or two people who have $3 to $5 million who can come in and just pay people to do the work. And that is very difficult. And this is very rare. And I think what these folks like David and others have done is really put a blueprint in place. If you want to do it, you got to get people around the community who care about it, the volunteers to come in and do it. Very rare.
Well, Shane, one thing I think that's really important here is that story was documented in Golf Digest.
I saw it.
Yep. And they think they don't know of another course in America. The reason they wrote the article, they called it The Miracle at Turkey Creek. And they were excited to do that article. The only reason that came about, by the way, was because of Ben Bukhari, because he got this idea one night and fired a message off to Golf Digest and said, "We got an incredible story here. I think you might be interested." And they snapped on that and got immediately back in contact with Ben, and Ben orchestrated the whole thing and set him up with people to interview and also video and photographs of the course. But they don't know of another course in America that was shut down for 10 years and came back with volunteer labor. They think it's unique.
There's no question about that. It's an awesome story, and I can't wait to get out there and check it out. We need another golf course in our area. I appreciate you guys taking the time to join us today, and we'll see you out at Turkey Creek.
Thank you, Shane, for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
That's Dave Kratzer and Ben Bukhari from Turkey Creek Golf join us. We're going to take our second time out of the program, come back and wrap up this show. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our Gridiron sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, where you matter most. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. G-Tech Sport, keep your athletes in the game with G-Tech Sport. Celebration Point Town Center, Center State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage. Some of our touchdown sponsors are Big Mills Cheesesteaks, MB Listing, Cornerstone Financial, McDonald's of Gainesville, My IT Masters, Gainesville Neon and Signs, 84 Lumber, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Chick-fil-A on Archer Road, Aver and Smith, Dowling Signs, Chomp Harder Apparel, Ruse Ogra Insurance. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit podupwithshane.com and click the advertise button. Again, thank you to all our great sponsors that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios at Center State Bank. We put business first. We're the largest community bank in the state of Florida. Understand that small businesses need a community business partner that they can rely on. Center State has 4 convenient Alachua County locations. Center State Bank, remember FDIC. Don't forget, make sure you go and sign up. This is a Run Harder hat from our Chomp Harder folks. Go to podupwithshane.com, sign up for a giveaway this week. Really want to thank Pat Dooley for stepping in for JC today and joining us, and also Dave Kratzer and Ben Bukhari from Turkey Creek. That is a great story. A bunch of volunteers opening it up. I'm going to have to go out there and check it out. Tomorrow's show, folks, we're going to start talking about the Super Bowl. We're going to have Alex Marvez, who does his show on Sirius XM, talking NFL, and also we'll have Buddy Martin from the Buddy Martin Show. So today's show's a wrap, brought to you by Wrap Spot. Be safe out there, folks. We will see you tomorrow.